Welcome everybody to another episode of Beyond the Cinema. We are back just a couple of days after the battle at Big Rock.
Yep.
And
really cool stuff.
Yeah, welcome to the show.
Yeah.
We'll
jump right in.
We're going to talk about some stuff.
News first.
News, yes. Okay. So first, we got our first... Got our first look at first poster for the Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. Terrible, awful, very bad, no good, terrible poster.
It's pretty bad. There's not much to say about it other than it's really, really bad Photoshop.
It's hideous. It is an uggo poster.
Like even the people, like the bird wings are already pretty badly Photoshopped. But like even the people themselves in the poster are Photoshopped.
Yeah, it's horrendous. It's
gross
and
shocking.
I don't even want to talk about this movie. I can't. It looks bad.
We hope for the best, expecting the worst.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah, that's I think all we have to say about it. We didn't like it, but we do have the first poster.
Yep. And it looks real dumb, and I can rip into it now, but instead I'm going to wait for the movie to come out so I can rip into it then.
And have actual meat to
yes.
go off of. Okay, next up, NBC has unveiled the title for their new streaming service coming very soon. It is called Peacock, not the greatest title.
No Disney Plus this week. We're talking about Peacock instead.
We're talking about Peacock instead. And cool stuff, The Office is most likely getting a reboot with the original cast. And so it's most likely starting back up. So that's going to be great.
Yeah, the executives at NBC, that's pretty much like when it comes to like NBC programs, because obviously they're partnered with Universal. So they do have like a lot of different really great properties. But when it comes to like NBC, their top performer is The Office.
The Office, Parks and Rec, and Brooklyn Nine-Nine now.
Yeah. Oh,
so,
Brooklyn Nine-Nine's so good.
It's so good.
Yeah.
The Office is most likely getting a reboot. They also said that they are going to start making TV programs and media based off of their film properties. And we will get more into that in our Battle at Big Rock review.
Yes.
So,
but that also means potential, like, they're talking about doing a Die Hard thing. And
or a Fast and Furious thing.
Fast and the Furious thing. So,
but we will talk more about that
at
Battle at Big Rock. So
we've got a big list of names as tweeted by James Gunn.
For Suicide Squad.
The Suicide Squad 2. The Suicide. Actually, I really dig the logo because it's the one from the comics, like with straight off of
bullets,
the 80s. Yeah, that's a good
bullets through.
But what I like, so before we go into any of these names, this is a big list of names. We've got 20 names on here? Yeah, 20. Oh no, 24. Yeah, 24 names. There's 24 names on there. I counted 5x4, not 6x4. But his little tweet, he said, "Don't get too attached." Which is one thing that the Suicide Squad movie didn't do, is add the fact that they're a Suicide Squad. Like
they die a lot.
Like Slipknot was introduced just to die, and like that
and
was
then the
great.
rest survived
Watching
until
his
Fire
head pop,
Guy.
Until Fire Guy died from fire, but it means when he says "don't get too attached," hopefully it means a bunch of these people are going to die during this movie. Like I don't think your Harley Quinn or your like main ones are going to die.
Whoever Idris Elba is playing will die. This
massive...
bottom row right there is probably safe.
Yeah, well,
maybe the top 2.
Yeah, so there's a lot of really good names in here. We're not going to go through all of them, but interesting ones: John Cena and Pete Davidson. Both of those are.
Nathan Fillion.
Interesting picks. Nathan, I think that's a great pick. I think Peter Capaldi's really good.
Taika Waititi.
Idris Elba. Sean Gunn.
Michael Rooker.
Yeah. I'm really happy that Jai Courtney's coming back as well. I think he was one of the better parts of that movie because I think he's a horrendous actor in everything but Suicide Squad. So I'm happy Jai Courtney's coming back.
That paycheck, man.
Yeah, and I can't remember which name it is on here. There's one. It's one of the ones that I can't pronounce. But it's the guy from The Dark Knight and from Ant-Man. In Ant-Man, he's like the Russian friend who works at.
Oh,
so he's. I can't.
I don't know.
I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he's gonna be in this. He's one of the names on this list. So I like him. He's funny. So
yeah,
it's got a decent cast going for it. Huge Marvel cast as well. Like there's a lot of Marvel names.
James Gunn sniped a lot of people. So.
Yeah, he did.
And then I'll actually have you take this next one too, because the following one is more at my alley.
Yes. Okay. So Knives Out premiered at the Toronto Film Festival, and the review embargo was lifted. First reactions. So for the first week and a half, it had 50+ reviews and was sitting at 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. So not a single negative review about Rian Johnson's Knives Out. It's got one, as of I just checked, it has one rotten review, bringing it down to a unfortunate 98%. But apparently
it's getting great reviews.
Apparently Knives Out is fantastic.
However, I bring up the point that so did The Last Jedi.
So my thing is, and the reason why I wanted to bring this up is that because Rian Johnson's repertoire is not very big. It's a pretty small. His portfolio is pretty small. Yeah. And so that consists of Looper, The Last Jedi, and now Knives Out. Looper was great. The Last Jedi, not so much. And now this is apparently great as well. And so what I think is interesting, and what that potentially means for Star Wars, and also means a little bit of fear for The Rise of Skywalker, is it could be. I think he played a big role in what happened in The Last Jedi, but it honestly makes me think that Kathleen Kennedy was behind every problem with The Last Jedi, because Rian Johnson has proved himself as a competent filmmaker, and so maybe he just dropped the ball. But I think that might mean that everything that we disliked about The Last Jedi wasn't in his control. That it was because unlike the previous of the recent Star Wars movies that were written by lots of different people, The Last Jedi was just Rian Johnson and Kathleen Kennedy. And if Kathleen Kennedy as studio exec was just hey, let's put all this rubbish in there, he would have listened, because it's the executive. And so
I don't know enough about Star Wars to agree or disagree with you.
So what I feel about that is that the president of Lucasfilm is just, I think that there was a lot of studio interference, because Rian Johnson has proved himself now as a good filmmaker. So potentially it means that the reason why The Last Jedi is so bad is because of
it's also possible. I don't. Does he have a writing credit on Knives Out?
I'm not sure.
It's also possible he's a great director, because The Last Jedi I think was still a really great directed film, but maybe not as well, but maybe not as good of a writer.
That's actually interesting. I'm gonna see. But yeah, interestingly enough.
Written by Rian Johnson.
By Rian Johnson.
So, and I mean, maybe that's also who he's partnered with. Yeah. Maybe that's. I mean, those are three very different genre of movie too. So I think there's a lot of factors.
I think what it can mean though is it means that just because The Rise of Skywalker is being made by J.J. Abrams doesn't mean that it's safe.
Yeah,
because Kathleen Kennedy is still working at Lucasfilm. But that's my rant about that.
All right, next up, and this will actually bring us full circle to our review of this week.
Oh, yes.
There is some news for Camp Cretaceous, the Jurassic World half prequel spin-off. It's going to take place during the Indominus attack in the first Jurassic World film, in the fourth Jurassic film. And so Mattel, the toy company, basically said that the new species that are going to be focused on in next year's toy lineup are actually going to be almost completely referenced and based upon the species seen in Camp Cretaceous. So they basically said that their focus for next year's new dinosaurs that are appearing in the toy line are going to be pulled from Camp Cretaceous. They're going to be Camp Cretaceous tie-ins. And then the day after, we got a big leak, and all the toys dropped.
I love leaks.
Yep, and all the toys dropped. So, and this is nothing cement yet, because Mattel has put out toys that are just not in any Jurassic media for different dinosaur species. Like they've put out Dimetrodon, Quetzalcoatlus, Silurus. All those are 3 different animals that have not been in the Jurassic franchise yet. But we got Edmontosaurus, big duck-billed dinosaur, lived alongside T-Rex, has a fancy little rooster comb on its head. We have Tarbosaurus, smaller cousin of T-Rex. We have Cryolophosaurus. Really excited about this one. It's a smaller, medium-sized meat-eating dinosaur with a fancy crest right between the eyes, and it's actually the only dinosaur discovered in Antarctica. And then we have, I think, Carnotaurus is making a return.
on the island.
Well, I think it was a lot warmer back then.
Okay.
It was like 60 to 70.
Sorry, I'm picturing Antarctica
now. We also have Postosuchus, which is one of the earliest crocodilomorphs. So one of the really, really early cousins of crocodilians and kind of precursors of crocos as we know them today. And then the one I'm most excited about, we have Sarcosuchus, or Super Croc, which is a 40-foot-long crocodile that ate small dinosaurs. So pretty big bad animal. And so I really hope that's in.
So a lot of really, really cool new dinosaurs in
Camp Cretaceous. So going to be cool. A lot of new dinosaurs to the canon, which is going to be awesome. I love that we're expanding and getting new species. And so that kind of brings us full circle. Are we ready to do clickbait?
Yeah, we are.
Okay. All right, I will take
is...
the first one, actually, because
I
have the 2 on my phone.
Yeah,
and you have the 1.
Then.
Okay. Jai Courtney teases Captain Boomerang return in Suicide Squad 2 with cryptic new image. And it was a photo of him with the little tooth. With the little gold tooth.
I don't know why you call that cryptic. Because first, that's real obvious. And second of all, his name is on the cast list. Yeah. So unless they're like, so we actually are replacing Will Smith with Jai Courtney as Deadshot. Like, he's Captain Boomerang is back.
No, it's so really stupid. And so that was stupid. You're
Great stuff. This is my favorite. Okay.
This one is probably the best of the 3.
So there's a film company website thingy called Bleeding Cool. And an article shows up online saying Bleeding Cool has bought the Snyder Cut. Wow, that's a pretty big deal. Like, buys the Snyder Cut? How is that even possible? I didn't even know it existed. Yeah. And you click on the article, and it turns out they purchased the domain name, the
so
Snyder
they can make
Cut,
a website
the SnyderCut.com. Man, I'm so sad that I gave them a click for that one. Like,
yeah, that's just straight up baiting. That's just lying. That's not even baiting. That's just lying.
False advertisement.
Yeah. Next up, Jon Favreau wants to tackle this controversial Star Wars project, and it is a reboot and a remake of the holiday special. Which is an interesting pick, but. Either way, that title is BS.
I want a Star Wars holiday special that's as dark as The Mandalorian.
But no, it's identical except the Mandalorian shows up halfway through and cuts everyone in half with doors.
Oh, that would be just multiple doors.
While the grandpa's watching like porn holograms, all of a sudden just
and there's like no door there, and then somebody's just like, and then the guy gets cut in half by a door.
Exactly.
That'd be so actually, I would actually pay money to Disney Plus just for that. Just to see that.
I might as well. Okay, so I think that wraps us up for news.
I think that does. It is a pretty news quiet week.
But it is a big week in other news because we got Battle at Big Rock finally here. So we're gonna review it and we're gonna talk. And because it's only 8 minutes long. Or 9 minutes long, including the credits. We are going to talk a lot about and so it's not that long to review. Yeah. We're going to talk a lot about the implications of it too, and where this could all go, what it means
for Jurassic World 3.
All that stuff. What it means for Jurassic World 3, what it means for the future of the franchise, what it means for Universal, what it means for Peacock, all that stuff. So we're going to talk about that right up next. At Large Boulder. So finally... It's been a long time coming. It was first rumored back in like April. I knew about it before that, but we don't talk about it. It was first rumored and kind of discussed back in like March, April. The toys dropped late May with little Battle at Big Rock tie-ins on the boxing. And then it was supposed to, and then even Dwayne Johnson said that it was supposed to come out alongside Hobbs and Shaw. Mm-hmm. And so we all went and saw Hobbs and Shaw, and it wasn't there.
It wasn't there. And neither was the Tenet trailer. I'm still upset about
that. Tyler's very sad he didn't see the Tenet trailer. But, and then we heard nothing. And for a while, it looked like the project, like many Jurassic projects and many Jurassic TV shows and everything,
had just
was scrapped. And then Colin Trevorrow tweeted out that Battle at Big Rock was still alive and in fact had never died. And even then, I was still nervous.
Still skeptical.
And then all of a sudden, like 5 days ago, not even that long ago, boom!
Yeah, it literally was like I think it was a week ago today that the tweet came out.
And Colin Trevorrow tweeted out a poster for Battle at Big Rock saying it was debuting on FX and that it was going to get a YouTube release immediately after the debut. And here it is. Yeah, seriously, what a legend, man. And so now it's been 2 days. It came out late Sunday night, and it is Tuesday as of recording. So I've watched it a bazillion kajillion times because now I can say something. I helped design the Allosaurus's head in Battle at Big Rock. I was working on a partnership between my museum and the Jurassic World brand, and we brought in an executive from Universal who worked closely with the franchise and with Colin. And we have a juvenile Allosaurus in our museum, and a juvenile Allosaurus appears in Fallen Kingdom. And she looked, and she was like, "That doesn't look quite like ours." And I was like, "No, it doesn't." And so then I talked with her for a bit, and point is, I kind of got the ball rolling, and I actually got to send in a reference image of my own artwork on how to correct some of the Fallen Kingdom Allosaurus stuff and send in a concept, and it was implemented into the final design. So it was really cool seeing
we'll put it
Allosaurus.
up like right there, so you can see it, and then we'll put it like side by side with the Allosaurus, so you can see that it's legit. He's not making this up. Like
it's for real. It was really cool, really great experience. And so I am a little inherently biased just because I love seeing like something that I helped work on, living and breathing and roaring and all that stuff. It was so badass. And so, but onto the review of the short. So immediately I'm going to say out of the gate, spoilers. Because there's no real talking about it. It's only 9 minutes long. There's not really any talking about it.
Well, and the thing is, like, it's not like you have to go pay money in theaters to go see this. If you
want
to watch
YouTube.
it, like, go
watch this
go
and
to
then
YouTube's
come back
trending
to this
page
video. Exactly.
And you can watch it. Like,
yeah. And so I'm going to immediately come out of the gate and say I think it's absolutely worth a watch. It's free. Yeah. It's on YouTube. It's 9 minutes of your time. And it is really, really good content.
I think you'd be dumb not to watch this.
Yeah.
Because just something like this hasn't been done. Not that it hasn't been done before, but it has not been done for a very long time. Like, where you've just had, like, massive franchises like, hey, we're just going to release this canon short film on YouTube if you want to watch this.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. And that's what's so cool about it, is that I think not enough people are talking about how cool of Colin Trevorrow and Emily Carmichael and Universal.
Well, and the fact that it's, like, the same team. It's not even like, oh, here's our low budget. Like, we had our B team make this for YouTube so we can get some... Like, Colin Trevorrow did this.
Yeah, and it has an animatronic. It has... like high-class actors, and it was written by the writers for Jurassic World 3. And so, and obviously directed by the director for Jurassic World 3. And so it's really cool of them to drop it and just let people watch it for free. So first, I think I'm just going to say worth a watch just because it's pretty easy. Like, it wastes almost none of your time, even if you're one of the few people that hates it.
And personally, I think the reason why this was made, and like the reason why this is doing so well, and like the reason why we have this in our grasp right now, is like for those of you who hate Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, you will watch this and you will have like a lot of hype for the franchise again, because it was like, it's like we were joking about how it's like the flex tape meme where it's like Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom hate, and then the Battle at Big Rock, just like just smack that on there, and like that's exactly what it's meant to be.
Because it's a pretty incredible short film. The really things it does within a 9-minute time span is pretty awesome. I mean, like, I am the biggest dinosaur advocate in the world. I am like, pre-Battle at Big Rock, I was like, yeah, dinosaurs like destroy humanity sort of deal, and afterwards I was like, this was not a good idea. Like I walked away from it with sort of this like dread, like this is going to be good, So it starts out.
I was gonna say, like, because really, it's a 9-minute teaser for Jurassic World 3. That's what it is.
a really good and really in-depth self-contained teaser.
This can work a lot better than I'm way rather have this than a teaser trailer, because I watch this and I'm like, I want to see more of that.
And it spoils none of Jurassic World 3. It just tells you what it's going to be
I
about.
just want to see this more. I want to see more of that.
And so the premise is a family goes camping out in Big Rock National Park, and they are stranded at their campsite, and all of a sudden a Nasutoceratops, big cousin of Triceratops with horns like a longhorn bull, shows up, kind of starts rifing through their trash. And immediately, the mom's reaction is it's one of them. So that immediately gives me the impression that people are not a fan of dinosaurs. Like people, as they start to notice their presence and stuff, it's one of them suggests that people are like very strongly like anti-dinosaur at this point. And then all of a sudden a baby shows up and stuff like that. And they're just kind of watching, just like a family would if a herd of deer came through. And all of a sudden, the mother Nasutoceratops starts freaking out, and an Allosaurus steps into the clearing. And this time, an adult with a cool redesign from what we saw in Fallen Kingdom. And a fight breaks out because it tries to grab the baby. It drops the baby, fights the mom, and the entire time they're kind of in the trailer, and it's getting smashed and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, a male Nasutoceratops comes in, and they manage to get away. But then their baby starts crying. And the Allosaurus immediately is like, and looks over, and we get the rest of the short, which is basically they're in this claustrophobic trailer as the Allosaurus just rips it apart. And I have to say, it is probably this is just my personal opinion, but I think it's probably the scariest scene we've gotten in the Jurassic saga. It is intense. It's at least the scariest since the raptors in the kitchen, or the T-Rex attack the T-Rex breakout attack in the first movie.
I think what's important about saying is that it gave the same suspense as the original scenes did, because I think that those original scenes are why Jurassic Park is so memorable. And obviously the new ones are good, but it kind of like
It has more action.
You've gotten used to it, kind of thing. Yeah. Like I've gotten used to seeing dinosaurs chasing people. This time, it's that same suspense again.
And it ups the ante, I think. I thought they were gonna ice that baby, because you get this shot of the baby stuck in the high chair as the trailer's flipped over because the Allosaurus rammed it, and he's stuck in the high chair just dangling, and the Allosaurus breaks through the glass, comes out, and his jaws open right around that baby, and you are just like.
Yeah.
Even though logically I knew they weren't going to kill a baby in a YouTube short film.
I know, it's like they didn't kill a baby in It. They didn't put that in there. So,
and even though logically I knew, the fact that it tricked me for a second into being like, proves its kind of adeptness. And it just, I think, the animatronic looked phenomenal. All the CGI was amazing. The dinosaur designs are fantastic. They're some of my favorites since the originals. And so I loved the Carnotaurus design, and I loved the Stygimoloch design. But those are the two main designs that I've really loved since of new species since the original trilogy. And I adored the Nasutoceratops and the Allosaurus in this short. And it was really, really quite cool to see him. Even the sound design, I mentioned this in my Jurassic Park review we did, but the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park, especially the original trilogy, I've always loved how they have this bizarre thing where they sound how they look. Like the T-Rex with the deep, trumpety, booming roars, raptors' high-pitched screams and hisses. This is the first one besides the hybrids in the Jurassic World trilogy where I felt that. I haven't loved any of the dinosaur noises for the new Jurassic World trilogy that haven't come from pre-existing species. Yeah. And so this one, Nasutoceratops has a big kind of bulbous nose, and it makes this loud resonating really cool noises. And then the Allosaurus almost has this honking cassowary goose type with this evil, loud, demonic spin on it. And so I loved that. And then one thing I also want to say about the short film is Jurassic Park makes a point of saying in the first movie, establishing that the dinosaurs are animals. They're not monsters. They're not supposed to be like, horror movie monsters. They are just animals trying to eat, trying to defend themselves, survive, all that stuff. There's always reasons for what they do. Just like why modern predators attack people. And in this short film, I felt that more than the entire series, I think. Other than maybe some of the T-Rex stuff in the first film, this is one of the first times it felt like a nature documentary. The way the two Nasutoceratops went in formation with their frills against each other to ward off the Allosaurus. The way the Allosaurus, as soon as it got hit in the face with the crossbow, and it realized that the fight wasn't worth it anymore for the meal, and it gave up and just went away.
It definitely could have messed them up after. The crossbow didn't do that much. It was more just
For sure. It was this isn't worth it anymore, and it weighed the cost-risk analysis in its head like modern predators do, and decided this isn't worth it anymore, and went away, just like modern predators.
Go find easier prey.
Yeah, exactly. And that is all awesome in my mind, because everything was established as more of an animal attack film, like a nature horror than ever before.
Like The Revenant.
Yeah, exactly. But on steroids, because then it pans over the wreckage, and if a bear shows up in your campsite, you go into your camper and you're fine. If an Allosaurus shows up in your campsite, it rips through the camper and tries to get to you until it's warded off. I mean, it just shows that. I love that it's not military versus dinosaurs and stuff like that. It's not post-apocalypse-y. It's more dinosaurs are an accepted part of everyday life now, and because of that, life is more dangerous for people now, for just the everyday person. And I love that concept. And we get a taste of that in the end credits, too. People releasing doves at the wedding and a pteranodon just sniping
I think that's the best part of this short film is the stuff after the credits.
Yes and no.
Well, other than the one of the little girl getting chased around, the rest of those are what made me really interested to see what this new world full of dinosaurs has in store for us. That it made me so interested. I especially love the car crash when he
with the stegosaur almost
exactly.
The car.
Where it's that's what would happen, and it's going to be really interesting to see where Colin Trevorrow decides to.
Especially because they even have predators bigger than Allosaurus roaming around there. Oh, yeah. They have the T-Rex still walking around. They have Blue is out there somewhere. I also think they specifically left those two out of the end credits for a reason, because they still have their CGI models. They totally could have thrown them in, but I think they left those two out for a reason, and I think it's because they don't want to answer where they are.
It's because the T-Rex is too busy eating lions.
Cool shot though. And so I adored the short. I think it's some of the best Jurassic content we've gotten in a while, and that's not a slight against Fallen Kingdom or Jurassic World, because I love both those films in their own right. But dinosaurs on the mainland and taking over ecosystems and just causing a threat to everyday people is a concept I've wanted in the Jurassic series for a long time. And we got a taste of it in Fallen Kingdom. We got a taste of it in the Lost World. Yeah. But this is the first time I feel like it's being fully explored. And so now I think we'll move on to the implications of it, because I think we both recommend. It's really good. Check it out. The implications of it are the rumors right now, especially after recent interviews with Colin Trevorrow, are that this might actually lead to a live-action Jurassic World anthology series focused around independent episodes where each episode is a self-contained story. It is a self-contained story.
To what just happened?
Yeah, very similar to Battle at Big Rock. It's an independent story about humans trying to survive in this new world alongside dinosaurs and other prehistoric creatures. And so there's been rumors of a concept art piece that was out of a sailboat with a guy stuck on it, and the mosasaur circling beneath. And we do see the mosasaur in the short film briefly. Great White grabs a seal off the Californian coast, and then boom, yep. But there was that. There was another rumored one of a guy trying to throw something away in a dumpster after work late at night, and he works at a Costco style wholesale place. And all of a sudden 2 carnivores show up to raid the dumpster because they smell food from it, and then they find him, and he's a more full meal, so they go after him. And then I'm sure there'd be one about the T-Rex. I'm sure there'd be one about all these species, and that could introduce new species.
I'm very interested in that idea. I hope it happens. And right now, it looks like the Battle of Big Rock is getting the kind of reception they wanted to.
Exactly. And that's what the rumor states, is that Battle of Big Rock was a tester for it and sort of a feeler.
Successful
and
test.
So, because it's getting amazing reviews. People are loving what they're seeing. It would just be kind of focused around self-contained stories that don't really impact the overarching Jurassic World and Jurassic Park storyline that you'll see in the movies, but will just give you more glimpses into this new world of people trying to survive alongside species that make humanity not the apex predator anymore. Mm-hmm. And I love that concept. It's probably my favorite concept for a TV series. I thought I had the best idea for a Jurassic Park, Jurassic World TV series, which was a prequel to Jurassic World about them recapturing the dinosaurs and preparing for opening of Jurassic World. And I would love this even more. The sort of When Animals Attack X-Files story show.
Yeah.
That where we just get new species and new dinosaurs and new glimpses into the extended canon. I think that's brilliant. And so that's rumored to either, if it does get greenlit, which hopefully it does with the reception, that's rumored to either debut on FX or drop on Peacock. Because they, like I said, they did say
gotta get on that exclusive streaming grind.
Exactly. And so that's all implications for what can happen in the series. And I think it does offer a glimpse of what Jurassic World 3 is going to be, where dinosaurs are just an accepted part of everyday life, and Owen and Claire and the original Trinity cast, Ellie Sattler, Dr. Grant, Dr. Malcolm, are all going to, Ian Malcolm, are all going to it's going to be, I think, a story about adaptation and survival.
It's not going to be like a let's wipe out the dinosaurs. It's going to be...
I don't think so.
No,
I do think Jurassic World 3 is going to focus a little more on the open source concept of the dinosaurs. Colin Trevorrow's mentioned that a few times, where now the technology, not InGen and Masrani and those companies are not the only ones who are going to be able to make dinosaurs anymore. And because they sell, at the end of Fallen Kingdom, they sell genetic material to other companies and other places. And so now the technology is open source. People can use it however they need. And so I think that's going to lead to new species, new designs for maybe pre-existing dinosaurs.
We're going to get so many different Indoraptors. It's going to be insane.
No more hybrids. He said no more hybrids.
Okay, good.
But we might get like a feathered raptor and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so it just offers a really cool glimpse into the future of Jurassic and where it's going. And I think it's brilliant. I think it's the best thing Jurassic has done in a while. And that's saying something, because I love all Jurassic.
Park fan
and so
in the world.
This is going to be good. And so Battle at Big Rock is awesome. And if you're a fan, check it out.
Thank you so much for watching. Sorry we've run out of time. It's a really exciting thing to talk about. Yeah. But make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Click the notification bell. If you
leave a comment if you want. And we will see you next time.
Next week when we figure out
something
to talk about.
Thanks for going with us beyond the cinema.